A growing threat to farms, cities, and the future of coexistence. Introduction: The enemy at the gate. In the shadow of dawn, when most of the world is still asleep, a new kind of danger stirs. Not a war between nations. Not a man-made catastrophe. But an invasion from the wild. Wild boars, powerful, aggressive, and multiplying at 20 to 25% every year, are reshaping entire landscapes. Once considered a problem confined to remote forests, these animals have pushed beyond natural boundaries, storming into suburbs, tearing up farmland, and even prowling the streets of cities at night. Experts warn, to keep their population stable, 60 to 70% of wild boars must be eliminated every single year. If this does not happen, their numbers rise uncontrollably. Their adaptability ensures that whether in dense woodland, open plains, or urban sprawl, they thrive and they conquer. This is no longer about a few stray hogs. This is about survival. For farms. For communities. For the very balance of nature. Giants of the wild. The average wild boar can weigh between 200 and 300 pounds, but some grow into behemoths of over 660 pounds. Their tusks curve like daggers, capable of tearing into the earth, into crops, and into anything, or anyone, that stands in their way. Unlike deer, who run at the first sign of human presence, boars stand their ground. They charge. They fight. In rural America, in Europe, and across Asia, stories of human encounters have ended in injuries, and in rare cases, fatalities. They roam in groups, called sounders, where a single family unit may consist of dozens. But solitary males, often the largest and most dangerous, stalk the peripheries, searching for food, territory, and dominance. Texas under siege. If there is a ground zero for this crisis, it is Texas. With an estimated 3 million feral hogs, the state bears the brunt of this invasive nightmare. The numbers are staggering. $190 million in corn losses alone, 2023. An estimated $500 million in total agricultural damage statewide each year. Wrecked fences, destroyed irrigation systems, and polluted water supplies. Corn, Texas's second-largest agricultural industry, has become a prime target. The USDA warns that wild boars now destroy 10% of the state's total corn production annually. A crippling blow for farmers who already battle fluctuating markets and unpredictable weather. One farmer in East Texas put it bluntly. Drought didn't ruin me. Floods didn't ruin me. But these hogs, they're pushing me out of farming. The urban battlefield. The invasion is not limited to fields. In Lufkin, East Texas, residents face nightly terror. As darkness falls, boars spill out from nearby woods. They overturn trash cans, scatter waste across entire neighborhoods, and break into gardens. They attack pets. They chase pedestrians. Police reports describe panicked calls of families trapped inside homes as herds roam outside. In 2023 alone, wild boar damage in Lufkin was projected to exceed $1 million. Waste management costs skyrocketed to $500,000 annually, just to clean up the chaos of overturned bins and scattered trash. The question hangs in the air: would you stay in a city overrun by beasts? Or would you demand action before it's too late? Farmers on the brink. In East Texas, corn farmer Miguel Hernandez shows a field flattened overnight. We had 2 weeks until harvest. Then they came. Dozens of them. By morning, half my crop was gone. I've never seen destruction like it. They trample what they don't eat. It's like watching your livelihood burn. The USDA estimates that in some areas, farmers lose 20 to 30% of annual crop yield to boars. Insurance does not cover the damage. Compensation is rare. For many, it means falling into debt or leaving farming entirely. And when the fields fall, so too do communities. Local economies dependent on agriculture, grain mills, trucking companies, even grocery chains, all feel the ripple effects. History repeating itself. This is not humanity's first war against animals. In the 1930s, Australia fought the infamous Emu War, sending machine gun crews against flocks of giant birds devastating crops. Despite the firepower, the birds prevailed, scattering and regrouping faster than humans could react. In the United States today, feral hogs are the most destructive invasive species, costing $2.5 billion annually nationwide. In Germany, wild boars roam Berlin's suburbs. In Japan, they push into cities abandoned during the Fukushima disaster. Everywhere, the story repeats. When humans fail to control invasive species early, the balance tilts, and nature fights back. Aerial hunting, the ultimate weapon. On the rugged terrain of Texas, traditional hunting fails. Boars are intelligent, cautious, and fast. They hide in forests, travel at night, and multiply faster than bullets can be fired. So, Texans turn to the skies. Helicopter hunting, the high-tech, adrenaline-fueled method of chasing hogs from above, has become the state's most effective weapon. Flying low over fields, hunters use semi-automatic rifles equipped with thermal scopes, striking targets with precision before they vanish into brush. Pilots guide the hunt, swooping across thousands of acres in hours, terrain that would take days to cover on foot. By 2022, aerial hunting had removed 50,000 hogs in Texas. It became so effective that other states began to copy the model. But efficiency comes at a price. At $500 per hour, each flight drains resources. And with millions of hogs left, it is a war fought inch by inch, sky by sky. The perfect team. Hunters and pilots. The relationship is everything. Hunters must be skilled in marksmanship, but the pilot, the unseen hero, carries the hunt. Navigating low altitudes, weaving between trees, spotting movement invisible to the untrained eye, their expertise accounts for half of every mission's success. Before each flight, licenses are checked. Weather forecasts are studied. Gear is prepared, rifles, helmets, radios, GPS systems. Every detail matters, because in the air, mistakes mean disaster. It is teamwork forged in danger, perfected in trust. Gear up for success. Preparation is more than protocol. It is survival. Hunters equip themselves with semi-automatic rifles in .223, .308, or .30-06 calibers. Thermal scopes for night operations. Helmets and safety harnesses against turbulence. Radios for pilot communication. Flying low, hunters scan forests for movement. Boars are cunning, but patterns emerge, a flash of tusk, a rustle in the underbrush, a cluster of shapes darting across clearings. With precision and patience, the tide of destruction can be slowed. Not ended, but slowed. The cost of war. Efficiency comes at a price. Aerial hunting operations require fuel, pilots, helicopters, and equipment. Local governments often fund aircraft, while contractors cover fuel. On average, a hunt costs $500 to $1,000 depending on size. The payoff? Fields saved. Crops harvested. Communities spared another season of ruin. But critics ask, is it enough? With millions of hogs still roaming Texas, aerial hunting feels less like victory, and more like buying time. Controversy in the skies. Not everyone agrees with this war. Animal rights groups argue that aerial hunts are cruel. Environmentalists warn of emissions from helicopters, disturbing non-target wildlife. And yet, for farmers facing ruin, alternatives feel like fantasy. Birth control programs are expensive and experimental. Reintroducing predators like wolves sparks fears of new problems. So, Texans continue to fly. Not out of choice, but out of necessity. Beyond Texas, a global crisis. The wild boar plague is not America's alone. Italy faces African swine fever spreading through boar carcasses. Germany reports packs of boars in Berlin's suburbs. Japan deals with boars invading ghost towns. France and Spain lose millions in vineyards and crops. Wherever they roam, the story is the same: broken fields, empty wallets, terrified communities. The wild boar is no longer an animal. It is a force of nature. The human cost. Statistics don't tell the full story. People do. In Umbria, Italy, farmer Giuseppe Moetti guards his vineyard at night with his sons. We don't dine together anymore. We sit in the fields with rifles. Farming has become guarding. That's what it is now. In East Texas, children are warned not to walk alone at night. Families fortify fences. Farmers sleep less. This is not only an ecological crisis. It is cultural, generational, psychological. Toward the future. What does the future hold? Scientists push for vaccines and sterilization. Governments expand aerial hunting. Farmers demand compensation. But the truth is sobering: the battle is not about winning. It is about enduring. About fighting enough to preserve harvests, protect families, and buy time for better solutions. Because if left unchecked, the boar population will not just grow, it will explode beyond control. Conclusion: the war without end. The wild waits. It listens. It learns. It adapts. The boar crisis is more than a nuisance. It is a war, one fought on farms, in cities, in skies, and in the hearts of those who refuse to surrender their way of life. The question remains: will we rise to the challenge? Or will the wild claim victory once more? Final call to action. Thank you for watching this full-length documentary. If this story opened your eyes to the scale of the crisis, if you believe these voices deserve to be heard, then help us spread the word. White right pointing backhand index, like this video. White right pointing backhand index, comment with your thoughts. White right pointing backhand index, and subscribe to Vendor and Wildlife for more untamed stories. Your support keeps these investigations alive. Together, we face the wild.